Hey guys, welcome back again to another round of World Cup previews. Now we're going to get started with Group D. The first team we have for you today is Argentina. Take it away, Pratty.
Or the Lionel Messi team. So let's talk about Argentina's strengths and the fact that they've got I think five strikers on board in their squad. They've got Lionel Messi. Four? Was it four?
You got five. You got Aguero, Dybala, Higuain, Di Maria, and Messi. I guess you can call them all strikers.
Yes.
That's an insane attack.
And to think that they're missing the probably people were even pissed off that they're missing Icardi. So you can imagine if he couldn't make it to the side, how strong that lineup is. But that's their strength. Their forward lineup is their strength. But it's just like a complete opposite when you talk about their backline. Fazio and Otamendi. We've seen both of them. Otamendi has had a good season for Man City.
He still has a mistake in him, right? That's the biggest issue, right? Mhm.
Exactly. And he and Fazio also has a mistake in it. They are prone to
Yep.
stupid errors.
So even Marcos Rojo, like he the number of times he should have gotten a red card, I can't even count. But yeah, go on.
And
Right.
with Marcos Rojo not even playing for United, so it's not like he has regular game time. So they
Mm,
are going to find it really tough.
mm.
Uh, and I forgot Romero's injured as well, so their number one goalie is out. You
Yep.
guys still have the hair. Why are you so?
Second best goalkeeper in Manchester. But yeah, that was a pretty big hit for Argentina for sure. So their defense, I would also agree and say that the defense is their biggest weakness. It's sort of like a reverse funnel. You have that strength out right up top, and it just gets progressively worse as we go further back down now. So
Are you sure Argentina is in Liverpool?
fair enough.
Yeah, so the star player is Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi.
It's going to be interesting. He's always come to the finals or the semi-finals in the past couple of World Cups. Missed out on Copa Euros. So let's see whether this is really his year.
Yep, for sure. I agree. It'll be very interesting to see. So next we have for you Iceland, who will be playing their first World Cup after that amazing success in France 2 years ago. Where we heard that 10 months, 9 months later, there was a boom, the biggest number of new babies born in Iceland. So, well, you kind of have an idea of how intense Iceland football is.
Yeah, I think
Moving on to the strengths.
most of the population were in the stadium that day when they. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But their strengths. Well, I think it would be up front. The midfield, I think Gylfi Sigurdsson and some of the other
Sigurdsson.
sons,
Yeah.
they definitely do pose a threat to some of the big teams. They could always be dark horses like they were the Euros. Nobody
Yep.
expected them to beat England, but then again, it's England. So
Right.
well will they do in this group? It's well, it's interesting. They even have Goodmanson up front who has done well.
Yeah, it's collectively a pretty interesting team. They all work together, and they have this. It's us against the world. It's tiny little nation. We're gonna take on. It's David versus Goliath, and that's something that we can never count. We should never
That Viking
underestimate.
spirit of brotherhood and
Cohesivity. Yes, for sure. I completely agree. And yeah, the star player for sure is gotta be Gylfi Sigurdsson. A man who can make a difference. You just win him a free kick in the right spots, and he will get it in. He will. That's what she said. So, moving on now, we have Croatia.
so yeah, Croatia. We definitely won't know what their strengths are. It's the midfield. They've got Perisic, Rakitic, Modric. Up front, they've got even Mandzukic. But their weakness. Well, if you have a defender like Dejan Lovren commanding your
Oh yeah,
Liverpool
yeah.
supporter, I know how it feels, Croatia. Um, it's yeah, it's tough. I think it's how well the partnership of Dejan Lovren with I think Chorluka or someone. I think they play Chorluka and Dejan Lovren at the back.
They actually would. I think the likelihood is actually going to be Domagoj Vida. I think that's who they are actually going to end up partnering with. But Kurluka had an injury. That's why we have this inexperienced pair getting up together who haven't really played together much. So, right, their weakness is probably that defensive pairing for sure. That's the biggest issue.
But if you're looking at the star player, you think it's one of the itches. It's either going to be
I mean,
Perisic.
they're all itches. The whole team is full of itches. So yeah,
No wonder Lovren is the weak link. He's not an itch.
not an itch.
But yeah, but I'd have to give it to Luka Modric. I mean, he controls the game like he does
Yep.
against
Master puppeteer. Yep.
for Real Madrid, not against, for Real
Puppeteer.
Madrid.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it's going to be interesting whether to see whether he can actually do the same here. He did in the 2014 World Cup. He did try and do as much as he could, but
Hmm.
now backed with Rakitic and Perisic. I think Rakitic's new role as a defensive midfield helps Modric go forward some more.
Yeah, will be very interesting to see. And this is a team that is full of very interesting quality dispersed here and there. Should be interesting to see where this team's headed. But now we have another likely candidate to be a dark horse. We have Nigeria.
Yeah.
Well,
So let's start with their strength. Their World Cup jersey.
yeah, yeah, actually one of the best designs, hands down.
It's one of the best designs I've ever seen for a jersey, and it's got and the way it sold out in like matter of minutes and a day or whatever. The line that was outside the store to buy a Nigeria jersey. I mean, they Adidas, was it Adidas?
Yeah, it's Nike.
Nike. Oh, okay, Nike outdid themselves this time. Uh, yeah, Nike. It was Nike, I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
they kind of outdid themselves this time. And so anyway, that's an external factor. But to talk about the strengths, it has to be the forward lineup: Victor Moses, Iheanacho, Wilfred Ndidi, and of course the Arsenal youngster Alexander Iwobi.
Mhm.
So they do pose a good threat to any defense in that group. They've shown that they can beat Argentina in the friendlies. They've beaten them 4-1 or something like that. So it is possible that they could ruin someone's day.
Definitely, yeah. Especially with how NDT has been playing for Leicester, the one who runs around, wins the ball, gets that, wins possession high up, passes it on, lays it off, and attacks. So you have that. You have the people who will run past him. You have Moses. You have all these guys who have the pace. So if you have the midfield who clicks on the day, wins possession, and changes hands right away, you can actually have them surgically strike and take it off teams that maybe may not be having the best of days. So, like you said, Nigeria has a very good chance of
But their weakness
playing.
has got to be their goalkeeping situation. I think they have a 19-year-old goalkeeper. It's not really
Mhm.
ideal in the World Cup stage.
Yeah. Mhm.
If you can get past the defense, then 19-year-old can be taken care of.
Even made a mistake with a friendly recently against England, right? So, well, hopefully that doesn't become an issue. Their backline ends up protecting it, but it is a young team. It's a young team for sure, and it'll be nice to see where they end up and how they do. Who would you say their star players?
Probably Victor Moses, with his experience, especially at Chelsea, at a huge club, uh,
Mhm.
he's going to be of vital importance to the team in terms of giving them experience, in terms of even pushing forward and
Right,
contributing to goals. Is going to be important, but I would like to see people like Iwobi, Iheanacho kind of step up to the mark.
right, and use their pace and
Yeah, they're young, but they can be lethal.
right for sure. Completely agree. So, what are your predictions for the top four for this table?
Number one has to be Argentina. With that front lineup,
Yep.
they can outscore most teams. Even if they
Mhm.
concede, they can still score more than they can.
Yeah, they can pull a Liverpool if anything.
But yeah, so I would say Argentina is number one,
Mhm.
definitely. And number two is going to be interesting. I don't see Iceland doing the same thing as they did at the Euros, given that they're not facing England. But if I were to go with quality, I would say Croatia.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't say that Nigeria is too far away. I think they can cause an upset here and there.
Yeah, like I would agree with definitely Argentina being number one, and the second spot is a lot more tighter. It's very difficult to say depends on the form, how each team comes into the World Cup, what confidence they bring in, how they perform on that day. But on paper, I suppose Iceland has a little bit of an edge out of the fight for a second team for top two. And I think it's quite close between Croatia and Nigeria, but I am going to go with Nigeria actually, and Croatia number three, and Iceland number four. So that's it. There you go.
I think I can live with that.
Okay. So thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we will catch you guys again at the previews for Group E. Peace.